Hello, my fellow comic book collectors. This is another segment of the price variance. I'm joined with Mark Ulroyd, and we're going to be talking about zombies. So we're trying to do. I'm forcing Mark to do a theme of horror-related, comics up to Halloween, and we'll do something grand for Halloween. Maybe I don't know what we'll do. We'll dress up or something. I don't know. We'll do something cool for Halloween. No promises. I don't know what we'll do, but it'll be something. So this theme is zombies today. We did last week we did vampires, and the week before that we did what did we do?
I can't remember what we did. No, I can't remember.
Okay, it was vampires and then something. We did something. And it was interesting. It's so interesting that both of us remember.
Both of us have forgotten.
So, yeah, with that being said.
Bad Girls?
No, I thought it was something horror related.
No.
No, maybe it wasn't. I could be totally wrong. And but this is at least the second or third, possibly fourth. We just don't know anymore. Elder, we get old, we forget things.
Yeah.
But this is zombie related. So let's get into it. Let's show your first books there, Mark.
Okay, so I'm my selections are largely movie based for your show, Alan. And you'll see on the wall behind me, I've got a little poster from Night of the Living Dead, which 1968, probably I'm not sure it's the first zombie movie, but it's certainly the most famous early zombie movie. And so my first couple of comics are Night of the Living Dead. This is a sort of compilation book. It's a sort of trade paperback, and it's got a number of sort of zombie stories in it. Based on Night of the Living Dead. I like the cover of that.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah, and then so this was from that was from Avatar Press, and they did a whole series of Night of the Living Dead comics, and this is one of them. And again, I just like the cover of this one.
Nice.
Yeah, so zombies wandering around a scarecrow. So yeah, and I actually watched. When did you last watch Night of the Living Dead?
Not that long ago, maybe a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I watched it last year, and actually, I thought it was pretty good.
I really like it.
Yeah,
it's one of my favorite movies, actually.
Okay.
So I've watched it maybe 4 or 5 times. So yeah, I like that movie.
Okay.
All my kids have watched it too, even when they were really young. I had them watching Night of the Living Dead.
It's very moving.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Oh well.
Sorry. So, and I'm just going to show a couple more from another movie that I enjoyed, and this was a sort of comedy horror movie. So this was a Sam Raimi movie, and it's got John Bolton art on it. So
Army of Darkness. Yeah. That's another one I should have brought, but yeah, I didn't bring.
Yeah,
so that's great that we brought it.
Yeah, Sam Raimi, and it's the guy who drops through time from being a supermarket worker, and he ends up in medieval England somewhere and releases an army of undead. A fun movie, and that's issue 1. Oh, that's actually signed by John Bolton. Don't know if you can.
Oh wow, nice.
At the bottom,
nice.
You can see John Bolton's signature.
That's very cool.
And
he signed it in a good way, like where it's not like covering the art and stuff.
Yeah, no, he signed it right at the bottom in the black area. So yeah, it's not covering the art. And issue 2.
Oh, nice.
I've had these from new, I think. I probably bought them actually at the comic convention where I got John to sign it. So I may even have bought them off John. So that's my first go at having some zombie comics.
Okay, so that's pretty cool. So I'm gonna change up the theme. Well, keep the theme, but change up the. It's not movie related,
right?
But it is like I like zombies in other series, I guess, where it's like, you got like sort of like a series that you wouldn't associate to zombies, but it just happens to have a zombie series. And Afterlife with Archie.
Oh
is kind
yeah,
of
oh, yeah. Of course, I've completely forgotten about. I've got those.
Yeah, so I figured, hey, this is a good one. Good series, actually, really great
Yeah,
series.
no, you got me onto that. Actually, I've actually got most of
Yeah. So I'm going to just quickly show them. There's number one. I actually have their first appearance too. There's a larger size comic that has their first appearance. So it's number two. I actually really like this art. So yeah. And this is actually signed. I didn't realize it is signed. Like that little gold, silver thing is a signature.
Okay.
I'm not sure whose signature that is, but it's probably the artist. And then number three.
Yeah, nice.
It's like a bunch in the series. Number four.
It's a really good series.
The ones that I actually recommend, and I actually brought my other one, are I actually have the whole series. I'll quickly go through the rest of the series.
Yeah.
Boom. And I'm going to show you the special ones.
Yeah.
Number 6.
Yeah.
Number 7. And these are actually getting quite pricey. 7.
They are. They have noticed they've started to go up in price.
And 9. Okay, so those are the regular covers.
Yeah.
But the ones I actually recommend is by Andrew Pepway. And these ones are really great. These are like kind of like the good girl art variants, and these are quite nice. There's 4 in the whole thing. There's one that's number 7.
Yeah.
This is number 6.
Yeah.
And then there's this one. I really like this one.
Yeah, that's good as well. Yeah, I've got all those.
And then my favorite, which of course I buried. Back here. My favorite is this one.
Yeah, that's number 1.
And So this is quite nice. This is one of my favorite covers, actually, of all comics. Does it show very well? I'm not sure if it's showing well.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you showed that. The first time you showed me that one, I had never seen it before, and I had to go off and buy it. That got me into the whole Afterlife with Archie thing. So I've got all those as well.
It's a great series.
Yeah, I'd actually forgotten about those, which is just as well. So I didn't bring those.
So do you have the like good girl ones too? The lingerie? Yeah, those are great. Once I knew about that one because that was the first one I bought. But then when I found out about the others, I slowly picked those up as well. They're pretty cool. I really like his artwork.
Yeah.
So those are so my spec actually would be those lingerie kind of good girl ones. Those ones, because the whole series is going up, but those ones are actually going up a little bit more, I believe.
Yeah.
And they're be a good spec.
Yeah, but if you look around, you can still get them at a reasonable price.
Yeah, there are. Yeah, I actually picked them, like all 3 of those ones, the later ones, for like I think it was like $20 or less. It was not very expensive.
No, I found a seller in the UK, and I bought. I think I bought 3 of them for about £10-12. So
yeah, it's usually in that $15-20 range. They're not that expensive.
Yeah, right. So I'm actually going. The next comics I've got are from. I think it's my favourite zombie movie of all time. Would you like to have a guess what my favourite zombie movie of all time is?
I was going to say 28 Days Later.
No, that's a good movie, but actually, I think
Shaun of the Dead. Shaun of the Dead. That was my next guess. See, I actually got it. Like, I actually really like Shaun of the Dead. Really great movie.
Fantastic movie. Simon Pegg, really great in it. I think it's a really, really good movie. And it's got some proper zombie horror stuff in it as well.
Yeah. No, it's quite good.
Yeah.
I like the scene where they're trying to kill the zombie in the backyard when they're throwing records at it.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Don't throw that record. I like that record." Yeah, it's like, but yeah, it's pretty great.
Yeah, and I've got number 2 from that series as well.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I don't have that series. That's probably going to be in a future unboxing.
That's going to be in a future unboxing. I mean, not expensive, but you can still get them for cover price.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, the cast is great. There's a British actor.
Yeah.
I don't remember. There's a British actor called Bill Nighy, who's the sort of father-in-law character who sort of gets into the mini and eventually turns into a zombie. It looks really good. Yeah, that's I think my favorite zombie movie of all time.
Yeah, great movie. I like the fact that they can't tell that people are zombies.
Yeah.
Because everyone acts like a zombie anyway, so it's pretty great.
Yeah, when he walks down the street and he doesn't notice that everybody's turning into zombies.
Well, there's not much difference. Like, they actually have almost the same scene, before and after they become zombies. So it's quite good. It's well done. Very great movie. It's like that's actually another one of my favorite movies. So I've seen that movie a bunch of times too. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one I raise my kids on, zombie movies. So
right, I've got one more.
Okay. Okay, sure. Show me your one more. Yeah.
I've got one more, and it's also my spec.
Okay.
Okay. So here we go. I'll show it. It's Treehouse of Horror.
Oh, nice.
Bart Simpson, and they've all turned the whole
into zombies.
The whole Simpson family has turned into zombies. So I really like these comics from Bongo Comics. So it isn't particularly this comic, it's actually Bongo Comics, because they produced comics I think they produced comics for about 10-15 years, I think.
Longer than that.
Longer than that. Yeah.
So they produced, I bought my Simpsons #1, which I think is Bongo Comics. I believe it's Bongo.
Yeah.
That was in 95,
right?
Somewhere in there.
Yeah, that's
so so that's 20 some odd years now.
Yeah, but they've stopped. They're not still going.
What?
They're not still going.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, that's true. Okay, so so I was thinking they've been around for, what I mean, yeah. Sorry, yeah. Okay, so
so I think these are good. I mean, they have risen. The Bongo Comics,
definitely.
The first one is now. I couldn't believe it. I checked it out earlier this year. The first one, I think it's Simpson Comics or something. Number 1 is now, if you got it in a 9.8, it's about £500.
Yeah. You can get it in lower grade pretty cheaply though.
You can.
It's just 9.8s are expensive.
Yeah, and it's only those few. So some of the other ones like Treehouse of Terror and some of the others, Lisa Comics and things like that, haven't really taken off yet. So my spec is really some of the early Bongo comics that haven't yet taken off, because I think they will.
Yeah, there's a lot of great titles that I think deserve to go up but haven't. Yeah.
Itchy and Scratchy as well. They did a range of Itchy and Scratchy comics, and they haven't really gone up yet. So
I have all those. I have all the early ones because but my son stole them all. He loves The Simpsons. He's watched every Simpson episode at least 2-3 times.
Wow, that's quite a lot of them.
Yeah. No, it's we figured it out. It's several days of your life that you have to spend. It's 20 days or something like that you have to spend. But he's been watching them for the last few years. And he just has it on loop, the whole series, where he'll watch the whole series over and over again for the past 2 years. It's just the craziest thing. He loves The Simpsons. So yeah. So
and that's one of the reasons I think they'll go up, because when the people who watched The Simpsons in the early 90s, they're just getting to the age now where they've got some free money, and then they'll start buying things from their childhood. So that's why I think over the next 10 years these are a good investment, because the nostalgia thing will click in with the people who are just going from their 30s into their 40s.
I would like to add to that spec. I would recommend try to find a high grade one raw and
Yeah.
get it slabbed.
Yes.
The funny thing is there's not many slabs because people haven't gone out and slabbed those bongo comics. So if you slab it, when they kind of pop, you'll be the one with the slab, and you can kind of cash in at that moment. So I just like to add that caveat, but get it in high grade because those are rare. Those are really rare.
Yeah, like you, I bought all these when they first came out, cover price, and mine are all in. I've never, they've just been sat.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I did the same.
am thinking about my next grading submission is going to be my bongo comics for the very reason you just stated.
Yeah. There's not many. I don't think there's many on the census. I really don't. And that's part of the reason why the price for that 9.8 was so high for the Simpsons #1.
Yeah.
So very good spec. Very good spec. So yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna try to trick your brain.
Okay.
I'm gonna see. I'm not sure if you watch all my shows, you'll know this. So.
Okay. Well, I watch quite a lot of them.
Okay. Well, hopefully you didn't watch this one episode. Okay. So, it's this one.
I didn't watch that episode.
Oh, hey, 1 sec here. There we go. I think it actually says. Okay. So hopefully you didn't see that. And I'm gonna make sure it doesn't say anything on the cover. I don't think so. Okay, but yeah, it might say enough on the cover to give it to you.
Right. So it's Capes.
It's Capes #1.
Capes #1. I've never heard of it.
From Image Comics.
Oh, it's Image. Okay, so that helped me a bit.
That's a lot of hints, actually.
Yeah, so it's Capes.
I always try to keep with the theme, so that makes it really easy.
Okay, a Image zombie. You've got me again.
Oh, really?
So let me just give me 20 seconds. I've got quite a lot of Image comics. What date is that? Can you tell me the date or the year? Just the year.
2003.
Oh, okay. So that's later than when I was collecting Image. I collected Image when it first launched in the
me too. Like Spawn and all that.
And I stopped collecting when the kids came along in around 98. So I've got a sort of bit of a comic gap between about 2000 and 2000.
Yeah, I had the same thing where I sort of stopped for a little bit, and then but I picked this up later when I heard what it was.
Okay, so I don't know.
Okay, there was a big hint on the cover. Robert Kirkman.
Oh, it's not Walking Dead, is it?
Yeah, it's Walking Dead. So this is the first appearance of the Walking Dead.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's there's a I don't know. I always hate these things where they say, "Oh, it's a preview," like a preview.
Yeah,
well, it's a preview story. It has the scene where he gets out of the hospital and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I consider that a first appearance. I don't consider that. I hate this concept of previews because it just doesn't make any sense. It's it's in comics. It shows the characters.
Yeah.
It's the first appearance. So
and it's probably got the title as well. So
yeah, so it's actually one you can pick up. I think it'd be around the $100 range.
Okay, right.
So a lot of people don't know that it's the first appearance. So it's one of those under the radar ones. But if a Comic Tom or some kind of show like that sort of mentions it, I think it's one that has the potential to go up. So
I missed the whole Walking Dead thing because it was right in that patch where I wasn't.
Yeah, I did too.
And I never watched it I never watched it. I never knew about the comics until I went back into comic collecting. I just thought, I'm not going to get into that. So I was hoping you were going to do something Walking Dead because I haven't got a single. This is it's somebody says they've never watched Star Wars. You go, I've never watched Walking Dead and I've never read a copy of the comic.
Okay, watch the first 2 or 3 seasons.
Okay.
Those are good.
Right.
Later seasons kind of get iffy, but the first 2 or 3 seasons really good, really, really good. definitely you'll like them. If you like the Night of the Living Dead and all those ones,
Yeah.
you'll like Walking Dead. It's a great series. Actually, I'm gonna show my other Walking Dead
Yeah, do.
in your
Okay.
your show. So I'm gonna wrap it in terms of this first part
Okay.
right now. And then what we're going to do is we're going to show the rest of the zombie related comics in part 2 on your channel. So there's going to be a lot more. Actually, I brought a lot more to show. I realized, oh, that's a zombie thing. That's a zombie thing. I was started pulling out all these zombie things. So everyone, go to part 2 on Mark's channel. And thanks again for watching.
Yeah,
Mark, thanks.
watch my one because the last 2 episodes, Alan's managed to get my Guess Who, because I think they've been a bit too easy. So I've got a slightly more difficult one for him.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay.
So, yeah, so hopefully he's going to be a bit more challenged by my Guess Who this week.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Okay.
So that's part 1.